VR is dead. You've probably heard that a lot lately. But if you actually look at what is happening in the industry right now, something very different is going on. VR adoption continues to grow, albeit more slowly than predicted by the hype merchants. What we're seeing is something quieter and more important. VR is resetting. Or maybe a better way to say it is this: the hype cycle is finally washing away. And the real question now is simple. What does VR look like once the hype is gone? Welcome to VR Lens. I'm Craig Storm. This show looks at virtual reality clearly, not through hype, not through doom-scrolling social posts, but rather through a more practical lens. I spend a lot of time thinking about where VR actually makes sense in the real world. Fitness, training, productivity, therapeutic and experiential uses, not just the gaming headlines. And today I want to explore one idea. VR is not failing, it is stabilizing. And that shift might actually be healthier than most people realize. Let's be honest about something. A few years ago, expectations got ridiculous. You probably remember this phase. Every headline seemed to suggest that VR was about to replace the internet or mobile phones. That was never realistic. Yes, Meta spent aggressively, and yes, the messaging was ambitious. But the leap from that moment to people now saying VR is dead is just the opposite extreme. Apple also entered the conversation. The Vision Pro arrived with a premium price tag and a new phrase, spatial computing. People saw that as validation. Others saw it as proof that VR would never reach the mainstream. Both reactions, however, missed the bigger picture. The real issue was not the technology. It was the expectation inflation. When expectations rise faster than adoption, disappointment is inevitable. What we are seeing right now is the hangover from that inflation. And hangovers are uncomfortable and can cause nausea, kind of like VR if it's not done right. So what does this reset actually look like? It looks like quieter progress. The Meta Quest 3 is a good example. It's not revolutionary. Better lenses, better pass-through, reliable performance. Sometimes the most important step forward is simply getting to, quote-unquote, good enough. Normalization also means fewer promises about replacing society and more focus on improving the experience. Lighter headsets, better optics, better software. It also looks like VR fitness, quietly building a community of real daily users. It looks like enterprise training expanding without a lot of headlines. And I will admit something here. When I first got into VR, I probably bought into some of the hype myself. It's easy to do when the technology feels magical the first time you experience it. But boring phases are often where industries actually survive. Here's why the reset might actually be a good thing. Developers can build without impossible expectations. Investors become more disciplined. Users can explore VR without feeling like they have to believe in a revolution. When the pressure drops, the real use cases start to emerge. And that is what is happening right now. If you are new to VR, this might actually be the best moment to enter. The hardware works, the ecosystem is more defined, and companies like Meta can focus on improving the platform instead of chasing the metaverse narrative. That means building a stable operating system and letting developers do what they do best. Create apps, create games, create experiences that people want to return to over and over. The dust has settled, the hardware is good, and the noise levels finally lower. So no, VR is not dead. VR is not failing. It is stabilizing, and it is maturing. And while that might not create dramatic headlines, it is exactly what long-term technologies look like. If you care about where VR is actually going, not just what trends for the week, Follow VR Lens wherever you listen. Next episode, we're going to dig into a specific category and ask a harder question. Is VR fitness the first truly sustainable consumer use case? Thanks for listening.